how consistent would you say you are in your business? If you think about a typical day, a typical week, if there is such a thing as typical, but if you think about the flow of your week, how consistent does that feel from one day to the next or from one week to the next? If you think about when you deal with customers, does the level of service, does the communication, does the responsiveness feel as though it's very consistent to those customers? Think about your marketing. Does that feel like it's consistent to those people who regularly see your marketing? Now, consistency is one of the most intriguing areas of business because it's very easy to overlook the importance of it. But actually, what consistency does is it creates structure for you, which creates ease, which creates flow, which makes you feel like things are under control, and it makes you feel like you've got it all together. So consistency is fantastic for you on a really base level. It's also fantastic for customers because customers love to know what they're going to get. And it is phenomenal from a marketing perspective because what consistency says is we turn up regularly, we are dependable, we are reliable, you know what you're going to get with us. I have many times delivered a talk at networking events that's called What Can We Learn from McDonald's? And the biggest thing that we can learn from McDonald's, no matter what you think of the food, the biggest thing that we can learn from McDonald's is the massive power of consistency. Because what I so regularly hear is people don't tend to think that the food at McDonald's is that great. But when I ask people how many of you have eaten at a McDonald's abroad, the percentage of that is usually really high. That is typically 80-90%. And when you ask the reason why, it's because people know exactly what they're going to get. Even if it's rubbish, they know exactly what they're going to get, and that's what people will pay for. So consistency in your business is actually more important than being stunning and amazing and outstanding and scintillating and profound, because consistency speaks of trust. It shouts about dependability and credibility. So some things for you to think about, some of the most obvious areas where you can start to think about improving your own consistency. So you create that perception of trust and of having it all together. But also you create that kind of ease and that natural momentum for yourself within the business. So think about things like daily and weekly structures for you. How can you map out your days or your weeks so as much as possible you can build some consistency in there and it starts to feel natural and reliable to you? Think about your customers and the way that you deliver your service and the way that you communicate with your customers, and how can you build more consistency into that. That could be tiny little things like making sure you always send a quick message at the end of the week to update them on the work you've done the previous week. It might be having a regular monthly review meeting with a client in your diary. It could be small touch points that create that element of consistency so that to the customer it feels like everything is supremely well organised and they're getting a fabulous service. And one of the other crucial areas to think about consistency is in your marketing, because one of the biggest things that I see is people who are constantly trying to do more marketing and new marketing and trying to be everywhere, because what would we call it these days? Omnipresent. We're trying to be visible 9 million times a day. But actually, that's not sustainable for the vast majority of people. So you are far better off being visible once or twice a day, even once or twice a week, rather than being visible 4 million times this week and then not at all for the next 3 weeks. So really think about what is a sustainable, realistic volume of marketing for you that you can absolutely stick to consistently. So I cannot emphasize enough just how much consistency will transform your business, both in terms of you feeling calm and feeling like it's all under control, your customers feeling like you really know what you're doing and they're getting a great service, and your potential customers thinking that you are the best person in your industry and you've really got it together because you consistently show up. So consistency is ace. You should definitely do more of it, and hopefully this little video has inspired you to think about improving the consistency in one area of your business. If it has, I would absolutely love to hear back from you in the comments, on the post, or via the email to let me know what little flash of inspiration this has created for you today. Thank you.